Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today. And today, the Houston Texans have drafted Jaylin Noel, wide receiver from Iowa State. Houston Texans drafted two wide receivers from Iowa State in this year's second round. That is nuts. I think Noel was a early third round pick, I believe. But I love this pick for the Houston Texans. And I think this is. I'll be honest. I think this reminds me a little bit of Tank Dell. And by the way, this was a second round pick at 79 overall. So, this was a second round pick for the Texans. So the Texans did draft two Iowa State wide receivers in the second round, and so but it reminds me of Tank Dell, 5'10". Not only that, where it's number 13. That's another thing that reminds me of Tank Dell, but a speedster. He's got a lot of speed. I want to say I heard ESPN say he had like 6 or 7 touchdowns of his 8 touchdowns this year, or 50+ yard touchdowns. He's got a lot of speed. 1,200 receiving yards. That was playing next to a guy like Higgins, who also had 1,200 receiving yards last year. And I think he's got a lot of potential for this Houston Texans team. Look, here's the thing I think about. If Tank Dell gets back, what's the dynamic? Let's just say Noel really starts to become a great player for this Houston Texans team. If Tank Dell comes back, what's the dynamic for this Texans wide receiver group? Because if he comes back, not this year, but next year, 2026, it's like you got two Tank Dells. So that would be the interesting thing. But it's kind of like you got two Nico Collins now too with Jaden Higgins. He's got a similar body type to Nico Collins, the new Texans wide receiver Jaden Higgins, who was selected 34th overall. But I still like this pick for the Texans. I think that the one thing I look at is I look at John Mechie and I look at Xavier Hutchinson, and I think to myself, all right, those guys, their jobs are in trouble right now. They really are. Because this wide receiver room, you're really going to only have 6 wide receivers make the 53-man roster. You've got Nico Collins, you got Christian Kirk, guaranteed roster spots. Noel and Higgins are second-round picks. They're guaranteed roster spots. That's 4 right there. It's 4 of the 6 guys that will be on the 53-man roster. That's 2 spots. The Texans signed 2 veterans in Justin Watson and Braxton Berrios in the offseason. Then you got John Mechie and Xavier Hutchinson. I don't see Braxton Berrios not making this roster with what he brings to special teams. So I think he'll make the roster. Maybe he might be looked at as a Steven Sims guy, though. Because Steven Sims made the roster last year, and yes, he was a wide receiver that was on the roster, but he was really a guy that was going to be special teams guy. So maybe you look at Berrios like that. But so maybe 2 more maybe Barris makes the roster, but still 2 other wide receivers make the roster. So then they would be, it'd be two spots, 3 guys: Xavier Hutchinson, John Mechie, and Justin Watson, the veteran. Who's I think I want to see Justin Watson make this roster, because Justin Watson is a amazing deep route runner, and I think he could be great for CJ Stroud potentially. But I also want to see John Mechie make this roster. I think I would if okay, let's say 2 guys got to make it out of Justin Watson, Xavier Hutchinson, and John Mechie. It's hard, but I'm going with Watson. I would go with Watson and Mechie, and then Hutchinson make the roster. I mean, so yeah. But let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans draft pick, Jaylin Noel. I love this pick for them. I think he's a speedster. He should be great. And I'm really excited for the Houston Texans four wide receiver group of Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, Jaylin Noel, and Jaden Higgins. It should be fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Texans.